The reason this game is important to me as a collector is that my favorite artist of early pinball was a man named Charles Leroy Parker. And Parker was an employee of a company called Reproductions and then Advertising Posters. He never worked for a pinball company. This was the first game that Charles Leroy Parker, the artist that everybody calls Roy Parker, did the backglass art. And so when I found that out in my research, of course the first thing I immediately did was, write everywhere, write to all these online auctions and put them in, in magazines that I'm looking for this particular game because, one, I love Charles Leroy Parker's art, and this is very, very early. And lo and behold, about 2 or 3 years after I put that article in, this game pops up, and I just went completely nuts. It was in relatively good shape, but to me, a game that is that important, I said, I'm going to restore this game. This game sat in our living room in pieces for over 10 years. I just never got to it. So this museum and my desires to make sure I was representing Charles Leroy Parker, which this section is about Charles Leroy Parker, I had to get this game out. And so we actually pulled all the pieces together that were in every different direction. I mean, there was so much dust on the inside of this head that we had to actually take the reverse end of a vacuum cleaner to blow it out. Anyway, when I started to restore it over 10 years ago, I had the parts, all these, they're called castings, chromed. They were in such terrible condition that I said, I've got to do something to it. So I had a chrome company repolish it. So I had all these pieces laying around everywhere. This game is old enough in terms of its era that it runs on batteries. So first came non-mechanical games, which was just shooting a ball into a hole and you read the number. Then came games that were mechanical but not electric, that had wires and springs and all kinds of stuff that made things move and turn. Then came battery operated games where, again, Harry Williams, brilliant as he was working on a game, and his factory was next to a solenoid manufacturer that used solenoids for something else. And so he used a solenoid which kicks things out, like it has a magnetic force. When you're on and off, it shoots a plunger in and out. And what he did was he added a doorbell to the game that when the plunger shot, the doorbell would ring. It's just a household doorbell. And he put both games together, and the game that had the doorbell sound made like 5 times the amount of money so it was like the invention of sound. It was the first time sound was ever used in a game.